Hello, I am FedoraG4mer and welcome to FreePCGamers Top 3 for free. I have 3 more awesome indie games to show you guys today, so let's get right into it.
Number 3.
Number 3 is Potato Dungeon. This game came from Ludum Dare 26, which if you don't know what Ludum Dare is, it is a game jam or competition of sorts where developers are given 2 days to make a game. The theme of this Ludum Dare was minimalism, and where Potato Dungeon embodies that is within its combat, which is simply a sword that follows your mouse pointer. You use this both as your means of attack and defense, deflecting enemy blows while finding openings to sneak in your own. The game is mostly a platformer, mostly combat heavy with a little bit of puzzle elements. It gets more interesting as you go along and unlock new abilities such as double jump, and it starts getting really interesting when you find your trusty steed Pard that has been taken control by the enemy. You have to defeat him to free him from his mind control, and then you have your trusty steed wielding a sword by your side. Yes, it's a sword wielding horse, which is pretty awesome actually. Once you have him, he kind of mimics your movements, giving you 2-for-1 sword action. You can also hop on his back and charge through weaker enemies in one dash, or you can also use the ability to ride him to jump over much larger gaps. It becomes really interesting with 2 swords flailing around. 2-for-1 sword flailing action, can't beat that. And I mean, it's a sword wielding horse. What isn't awesome about that? I really like the games that come out of these game jams like Ludum Dare. It's amazing what much more talented people than myself can do in 2 days. I highly recommend this game, and as with all these games in all of my countdowns, the link will be in the description.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Below Kryll, which is a global crowd-forged platformer. This game has a handful of levels in it, pre-designed by the developer, but the rest of them are all made by players with a fairly powerful level editor that's built into the game. The first level layer, I guess how the best way to describe it, is auto-generated, and they aren't levels per se, they're just there for you to move around in and teleport to. Then you can dive down into the deeper levels, which are all created by players. The deeper down you go, the more difficult the levels are generally going to be, as they will require more abilities you unlock as you level up from completing other levels. Below Kryll is still under heavy development, and it's in open beta right now. Publicly playable, of course, otherwise it wouldn't be on this list. So there are new items and new tools being added to the level editor all the time. The game is mostly a platformer with puzzle elements. There is a bit of combat involved, but it's definitely not the focus of the game. The focus of the game is the creativity the players have with making these levels. All the levels being user-generated means there are some extremely bizarre ones and some that are downright comical, meant only for the best of the best pro platformers. It is very interesting to see what the players come up with and the interesting ways they use the rather limited selection of objects and abilities that can be used in the level editor. I have seen some people come up with some very creative ways to use the tools that are a small set yet expanding as the game progresses. Each level has a shrine that you pray to finish the level. You gain experience to level up and unlock more abilities and the ability to go deeper down into the layers of levels. And you also earn gold, which is used for purchasing level squares to make your own level and unlocking some of the items that are in the level editor. You can also collect shurikens that are spread throughout the level. Collecting all shurikens before you pray at the shrine gives you a rather large bonus in gold and experience and perfects the level. Now, how you gain these depends on who made the level. Some level editors don't even put any of them in it. Some make them really easy to get, some make them very out of the way and difficult to get your hands on. Being that it's entirely user-generated levels, it just varies quite a bit, and that variety is what makes this game very interesting. And if you make your own level, when players when they play the level, they can leave you karma, which is pretty much a thumbs up on your level, gives you karma points, and there is a leaderboard of the best level of designers based on those karma points. And you also get gold, 10 gold, every time somebody more or less thumbs up your level, which gives you the ability to buy more plots and make more levels and unlock more in the level editor. This game is a lot of fun. You never know what to expect when you're going into a new level. They all vary quite heavily. Some people come up with very creative ways of using the tools. It is still under development, as I've said many times, so I'm very looking forward to seeing how this progresses and what tools and abilities are added in the future. I highly recommend you give this game a try. Go make some of your own levels if you're the creative type. I'm not really that good at that kind of thing, but just give it a try. The link will be in the description.
And number 1.
My number 1 pick this time is Flatland Fallen Angels, originally a commercial game recently made free by the developers. The visuals are really simple, very triangle and angular based. The gameplay is also rather simple yet deceptively tricky. Simple mouse controls and W and S to move, space to dash. It is very combat focused, and the combat is based on using the point of your triangle as a cutting tool as you dash into enemies to shave pieces of them off or right to the center, splitting them right in half. The dot in the middle is the heart. If you split at the right angle to hit the heart, the enemy is killed, and same goes for you, which leads to combat of you getting shaved down piece by piece and becoming smaller and smaller. If your front point is shaved off, though, then you don't really have much means of defense, though it does have a very decent checkpoint system, so when you inevitably get one-shotted by some enemies, you won't have to replay very much. Also, you'll end up picking up a lot of little helpers along the way. They are a much better aim than I generally am at splitting the enemies. Though they are very useful. I let them do a lot of the brunt work. What really sets this game apart, though, is the narrative, which is a kind of a strange, gritty, dark tale that is an interesting contrast to the rather colorful and almost playful looking visuals of the game. And it's very well done narrative, actually. It reminds me a lot of Thomas Was Alone, just a lot grittier, though it's by no means ripping off Thomas Was Alone, as this game came out originally long before that. This game was released by the developers for free as a means for them to promote their newest game on their Greenlight campaign to try to be able to get it on Steam. So if you play this, download it, play it, and enjoy it, consider giving them a vote on their Greenlight page. It really helps the developer out a lot to be able to get on Steam. This game, its story is what's really going to drive it, and I'm going to be playing a lot more of it to see what happens in the story. It starts off rather vague. A dead body, you're running away, people are chasing you, other thugs or renegades start helping you. You become some kind of renegade leader without trying to. And then you split a bunch of triangle authoritative figures in half to kill them. So it's quite interesting. I'm going to play a lot more of this game. You should check it out. The link will be in the description.
You never see the big things until it's too late. You open your eyes, and you're not the same person who went to sleep. And when that happens, all you can do is run. I woke to the shouting of the soldiers. Everything ached. I had to vanish. Fast.
And that's it for this time around. I hope you guys enjoyed the free indie game awesomeness. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.